Giovani Quenda picks Chelsea Football Club over Manchester United, and we've got all of the answers coming out, spilling out right in front of us, and I've compressed them together. I'm going to tell you what happened, why Manchester United couldn't afford him, why Manchester United decided they weren't even going to bid, why Chelsea persuaded him, and what was the pivotal role in this situation. Furthermore, AC Milan have decided, like many other clubs, Joao Felix is not worth the fuss. I'm very annoyed by this. I'm going to talk to you guys. I'm going to explain what's happened, how we've come to this decision from AC Milan, and break it down for you in a nice, concise manner so you can go on and kick it with the rest of your day. And finally, Thomas Tuchel has got the job as England manager. He announces his squad. There are 3 Chelsea players in the squad. One of them is Reece James, and the quotes, I'm telling you, are absolutely amazing, but I'm very worried at the same time. But before we get started, first of all, if you're a regular watcher, thank you for coming. You know clearly I deliver great content, so can you do me a favor? Pay your rent, hit that like button. Secondly, I want you guys, if you're new, to subscribe to the channel. This is where I give you regular football content. You enjoy yourself, straight, no facts. I tell you what you need to know, not what you want to hear. So let's get started. Let's keep it cracking. Giovani Quenda has decided to join Chelsea Football Club, and Giovani Quenda has already passed the medical, signed the contracts, and will be joining Chelsea in the summer of 2026. After a major transfer occurs, what always happens? We always get leaks, spills, and all the news is coming out from different sources. And what I did was I read all the news, I've compiled it into one little element, and I've got the video for you. So let's get started. First of all, Manchester United have been talking to Quenda for weeks. Since they've acquired Ruben Amorim, they've been trying to get a nice relationship with Sporting Lisbon to get this player across to Manchester United. It wasn't a hidden, it wasn't a secret, it was very public. However, what has happened was, number one, Manchester United have got FFP issues where they need to sell to buy. It's one of those situations that they went through last year, right? They had to sell McTominay to get Ugarte. They had to sell Wan-Bissaka to go get Mazraoui. It's one of those situations. They need to balance the books. They can't mess around with it. It's just a tough situation to be in. They're not in a privileged position of they can buy and then they'll decide to sell because they've made past mistakes. It's accumulated. It's hitting them. Furthermore, a massive key contributor here was Chelsea's urgency. Chelsea Football Club decided that they wanted to acquire Quenda. They thought he was valuable, and they understood there were 3 Premier League clubs on top of Manchester United and Bayern Munich that were actively chasing this player. And if they hesitated, they might miss out on it. This reminds me an awful lot of the Enzo Fernandez deal, Christopher Nkunku deal, and it's basically, this is our guy, we're getting him before the season starts, it doesn't matter what happens, we're going to secure him before the transfer window's even open, and we won't have this discussion. Very mature business if this is the right person that you wanted. A pivotal role in this deal played Jorge Mendes. For those of you that don't know Jorge Mendes is one of the biggest powerhouses in sports agent. Not only in football, but across all sports. He has got so much influence on multiple football clubs that it is ridiculous. He can sign players, he recommends players, he absolutely dictates how some clubs operate, allegedly. So it's one of those things where he is just very good at his job and people hate it, but in my opinion, I think he's just top of his food chain. He's the top of his feed. And more agents, in my opinion, need to get that kind of control for their clients. Because at the end of the day, you need to remember, the agent represents the player. He does not represent the club. He's doing what's best for the players. And for me, I respect that very much. But how did he get this deal done? Well, number one, it's 41 million euros. That could go up to 51 million euros. For a player of Quenda's talent, I think that's good money. Furthermore, it's a 7-year deal. And he gets to stay on a loan at Sporting Lisbon. Sporting Lisbon loved that little variable. I think you cannot underestimate the importance of Sporting keeping Giovani Quenda for another year. You need to understand, I think Sporting fans and Sporting Club have accepted that they're going to lose Victor Gyökeres. They're going to lose Hummels, I think his name is Holmlunds, the midfielder, the Danish guy. And I think they're going to lose Diamonde and Inacio. So they need to retain as many of the potential league title winning pieces as they can. And at this moment in time, if they can retain Quenda for a year and guarantee the money coming in still, they're going to do it. They're not going to waste their time. It is frustrating for Manchester United fans. It's phenomenal for Chelsea fans, but some Chelsea fans are still asking the questions, right? Alex, why are you always blue co-in? I'm really not always blue co-in. If you go and watch my videos on a consistent basis, I give you multiple factors on that wing position when I didn't want the player. They wanted Garnacho, I was rioting. They wanted Gittins, I was right. They wanted Matthias Tell, what did I say? Tel is very inexperienced, good player, would be a good acquisition. However, it's not for the now. He ain't ready to come in and compete. When it comes to Quenda, Quenda's not coming in now. So Quenda is coming in 2 years' time. So in 2 years' time, my assumption is Quenda's going to be coming in ready to play football. He is not a prospect signing that they're going to go have nothing to do with. They've got a clear contingency plan, and I agree with it. So it's not I always agree with Blue Coat and I'm a brown envelope. Let me explain to you guys something. I don't even have a microphone. If I had a microphone and I had like this amazing studio and I was getting 20 million views a year, do you think I'd be a brown envelope? Maybe, but I'm not. I genuinely sit in my living room and talk about football. So enough is enough, right? Behave yourself. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content. Let's move on to the next story. Joao Felix is a player that is very polarized. I've got a whole video explaining how frustrating it is to support a player like Joao Felix because you see the talent, you see everything you need to see from this person in glimpses, but it's never consistent. And I've even made a video when I said I was wrong about Joao Felix. I'll link it at the end. You can go check it out. It is arguably some of my best work, purely based on the fact that I took all agenda out, I took all my biases out, and I tried to sit down, make pros and cons list of this player, and really decide what's next. Well, now we're at the next, because Gazzetta dello Sport in Italy is now reporting that Mr. Joao Felix is going to be coming back to Chelsea Football Club. They have already made their decision to send him back. First of all, has he had opportunities to display his skill set? Without a doubt, at this club he has. He has played, I think, in all 8 of the games he's been available. He started 6 of them, and they've been knocked out. There have been some decisions that haven't gone their way, but that's football and that's life. He's had the cards, he ain't played them right. He has not made it that when his performances were so good that people said, you know what, it ain't Joao's fault. But if anything, Joao's been held to a standard that a lot of people put him on, including myself. I think Joao is a very good footballer. We just don't see the consistency. So what has happened on top of that? Conceição has got the job from Paulo Fonseca. And what happened after that is Fonseca got sacked. They brought in a completely different coach with a completely different style. And Conceição hasn't hit the ground running. Conceição is having problems, and he's going to be most probably released from his contract at the end of the season. There is turmoil in terms of new contracts with Rafael Leão and the captain, Theo Hernandez. It is absolutely a mess. And Chelsea Football Club, and like every other football club, decided, why don't we just send Joao Felix to that mess? I am not removing any blame from Joao Felix, because we have seen a habit here. We have seen a trend. He went to Chelsea when Chelsea wasn't stable because he wanted to play for a big club. He's went to Barcelona, where Barcelona could not afford to buy him. And then he went back to Atletico, only to come back to Chelsea on a technicality. It is a huge mess, and he needs to resolve his career somehow. What I think is going to happen is he'll come back to Chelsea. There will be a move to a B-tier club. There will be a move to a Sevilla, Villarreal, maybe a Roma, maybe an Aston Villa. Clubs that basically are not notoriously the best clubs in the last 10 to 15 years. Clubs that are in Europa Leagues, clubs that are fighting for 5th, 6th place, clubs that are notoriously cup teams, not league title winning teams. The expectation will be lower there, people will forget about him, and maybe he can recreate his career. The one thing I will say is Ousmane Dembele is somebody that had these issues. Never consistent, everyone knew he had talent, always breaking down. Now at PSG it's working out for him. 21 goals, I think since January, really reiterates the fact that when it clicks, it could click beautifully, and everything that was ever said about Joao Felix could be erased if he just performs to the standard that he has displayed in glimpses. The final thing I want to talk about, Chelsea fans, at this moment in time is Reece James, and England fans. Look, Thomas Tuchel got the job at England, and I've been very excited. All of a sudden, I'm fully invested into the England national. I am Georgian, but I live in the UK. I'm a British citizen, right? I basically pay my taxes. I've lived here long enough where I think my accent is no longer distinguished that I am not English, but I've got a nice Cockney accent at times here and there. You know, everyone's mate. But what do we need to talk about? The reality is, Thomas Tuchel will obviously call up Reece James. He's called up Levi Colwill, and he's called up Cole Palmer. And this is where I'm a little bit worried. He said he's double-checked and triple-checked with the Chelsea medical department if Reece James is allowed to come, because he knows Reece James' condition. They've said he's perfectly fine, he's going to come, and he's going to be part of the squad. I am worried. Look, anytime Reece James plays, I count my blessings. I literally have this like infatuation with when he plays, thank you Lord. When he doesn't play, did I expect him to play? Because Reece James, Wesley Fofana, Romeo Lavia are in the same boat as, for example, a Mason Mount and a Luke Shaw. When they play, it's a bonus. If they don't play, there's a difference. You know what I mean? Like, why were you planning on them playing? They're always broken down. So it's one of those things where when Thomas Tuchel says he's double and triple checked, it tells you the severity of these injuries. Furthermore, this is the line that got me very worried. I was panicking. I'm not even exaggerating. He said he believes he can play wing back and full back. Centre midfield, we're stacked there. We've got talent there. This is a problem. We need to ease Reece back into the Premier League games. We need to make sure that Reece's body becomes robust. Is Reece's long-term future hopefully at fullback? Yeah. Do I believe Reece can play Thomas Tuchel's high-intensity bombing up and down the pitch? Very worried about it, man. I think Reece James will be the person that Thomas Tuchel leans on purely based on the fact that Reece James is a very, very talented player, man. He is special, truly, truly special. And Thomas Tuchel knows it better than most people. So he's going to lean on him. He's going to give him opportunities. But as a Chelsea fan, I am very worried about this because I don't want him to get re-injured. We're going into a pivotal run-in and we're going to have a great opportunity. But for those of you that want more information and are curious about the Jadon Sancho news, Chelsea apparently have a clause to remove Jadon Sancho from Chelsea Football Club and send him back to Manchester United. Ornstein confirmed it. All the details are here. Go check it out. Peace out. I'm out. Have a lovely day. Make sure you hit that like button before though. Bye.